This story is one of the past for a Claudius guiding Moon Moore, back when he was young, just getting out of every kind of danger that was the northern area. He ended up falling away from what he saw to be just a small little farm town. And when he went back, he went to the water. He tried to get a drink, noticing a series of wolves. He knew it was over, but he still made his escape. His escape and his story begins here. It begins with him surrounded by wolves. Well, you know what? Maybe if I click things right.
Where are we on the map? Oh, okay.
Give me a second. It's not. Huh. Okay, there we go. I got it. It was just acting a little weird.
Can you send me that picture?
No. Later. So, as you are currently surrounded by wolves, you just ran from the water source. You notice that these wolves are very large, almost as if they came from the north themselves. And as they all have you surrounded, you still have your bow and all of that. You also have 80 health. Shouldn't have 70 right now.
Okay.
Currently, you are surrounded.
Let's see. I'm gonna take out my bow.
Yep.
And how many shots do I have?
You only have 2.
Okay. Let's see. Let's check speed of 30 movement. I'm gonna try to move back behind this rock here.
Okay.
Move back behind the rock. And I'm gonna take my 2 shots at these 2. 1, 2.
Okay.
Ooh,
So
damn,
as
1.
you roll for the first shot, you notice that it hits them pretty square. The second one though immediately misses. The 3d6 isn't there because you didn't do what normally was there, so it's only the 1d8. You have to remember how to use your oath bow. When that hits though, you see the wolves ready to pounce as it's their turn. So we have the pack advantage. 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 8. So 8. Alright. They literally jump and start mauling you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think you're going to go down with this.
Looks like 76 damage.
As they are still running toward you.
Could I try to use my bonus action that I didn't use as a reaction and
Nope.
swing my dagger?
Nope.
Okay.
Because you didn't use a bonus action. Bonus actions are gone at the end of your round. And as you're like starting to bleed out, you see all of them actually rushing forward a lot faster. Like they're ready. It's your turn.
It's my turn. Okay. I'm down to 4 health, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just reading my sheet with some of this. try to use... This is within range. Can I use defensive cover to try to run into this behind this tree?
It only moves 10 feet, but then at that point they'd get an attack for opportunity, so...
Okay. I'm gonna draw my dagger.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and just swing the dagger at 2.
Alright. They both hit. You see the moon glide over... You swear that the moon is glinting your blade as you stab into the wolves. They look pissed, actually, but they don't go down. Now your turn.
Can I use a bonus action as additional attack?
No.
Yes. That'll be it.
So you're getting bit by 2 of them. And when you do, your vision just immediately goes dark as all of them are starting to run toward you. And before it seems like they're about to bite the hell out of you, you black out. Your world goes dark as you hear the faint sound of what would be a rifle being shot and the sound of what appears to be wolves rushing away. But that's all you really remember. So, as you laid there and you see the vision of another realm, followed by what would be considered firm grip on you, you don't really know what it is. Hell, you never would have been able to know what it is.
Do you have music playing?
No.
Okay. I want to make sure my audio was set correctly.
At this time, though, you don't know how long it's really been, but you do feel a warmth and the sound of what would be considered a fire crackling and what smells to be maybe carrots or stew. As you slowly are awakened, you start leaning up only to see your body's bandaged very, very well, from head to toe, like from probably your midsection up, has these deep bandages, and they're covering what look to be deep lacerations from the wolf bites. And you see over there a man who, he's not incredibly old, but he's not incredibly young either. Dark black hair and small beard. As he's stirring this pot, you see him add a few more bits of grain and stuff. As you take a deep breath for a moment, then just feel your body really weak.
Am I able to speak?
You can.
Who are you?
Oh, well, you are awake. Hold on. Sorry. Lay back down real quick.
Alright.
So, you see him pull out a small drink. Here, you're gonna need some of this.
Oh, okay. Claudius begins to take a drink.
It tastes god awful, but it makes your head get a little swimmy. Sorry, it's not gonna be pleasant.
What is that?
Well, it's I would consider it a salve of some sort, something that would help your wounds. A little bit of medicine here and there. A lot of what's the root? Valerian root. It's supposedly, he starts walking over to the stew, starts stirring it. Supposedly has some neurotic effects where it will help your body enter kind of like a little sleep state where you don't feel as much pain. Kind of numbs the senses.
Does Claudius know what that root is? Does he recognize the name?
Yes, it is, and it is a very powerful healing.
Does he know it by that name or something else?
You do know it by Valerian root.
Okay. Can I add a thing on the Discord for young Claudius's?
Just use your normal one.
Okay.
But, yeah, what were you doing picking a fight with wolves? Little
Well,
reckless, you know?
it wasn't exactly my intention to fight them.
I know, I'm giving you hell. Don't worry. What's your name?
Well, most people know my people know me as Moon, but Guiding Moon, you can just call me Claudius. Claudius Moore.
Pleasant name. We have
And you?
stories about the moon. Oh, name's Jonathan Carlson. You're here at my farm. He pulls up the stool and hands you a bowl.
Looks like. Thank you.
Yeah. It's not the best. I'm not the best cook, but I do fill in for my wife whenever she needs it. But
So did I stumble upon your land?
yes, this will be considered my land. Yes, I've
I'm sorry, I
owned it
don't
for
mean
years.
to trespass.
Oh, don't worry. As long as you're not stealing any of the fruits or vegetables out here, it's fine.
I wouldn't dare. I just wanted to try to hunt a little bit, find a deer, have dinner.
You see him kick up the stool toward the wall, and he sets his feet on the side of the bed. Well, I understand that. I'm an avid hunter myself. Only you look like you do it in a more yeah, with, with a bow. Yeah, a lot more silent.
Yeah, to me, this is the only way to hunt. I wouldn't know of any other way. This is my oath bow.
Well, I'll give you a little word of warning. If you're gonna be hunting up here, the animals don't really care about the silence. You give them a little terrifying sound from one of these. Yeah, pulls out a rifle. The
Does Claudius recognize the rifle? Has he seen anything like that?
You've seen it once or twice from people passing through, but you never held one or used one. They're
Okay.
it's considered like a normal thing around here nowadays. It's a rifle. I don't know if your people had them or not. He sets it on his lap as he continues to eat.
No, we were always under the impression that was the evil man's machinery.
I don't want to be really deemed the evil man, but
I apologize. I wouldn't mean to insult you. Just
don't
wasn't
worry.
something we were.
I'm giving you hell again. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
I'm just joking with you.
you can tell Claudius is very naive to like
Oh
common
yeah,
people.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You do hear the sound of what appears to be a feet outside. Oh, well, give me a second. He sets down the rifle and he walks to the door, opens it up. Oh, hey, darling. You see her walk out and gives him kind of a hug. Oh, he's awake, is he? Yeah, this is Claudius. Claudius is Meredith. This is my
Man,
lovely wife.
it's nice to meet you. Thank you for welcoming me into your home. But I feel like I shouldn't overstay, and I should probably leave. I'd hate to overstep my bounds.
Don't worry. From what happened to you, I'm surprised you're even able to walk.
Well,
And Jonathan's really hospitable. I don't think he minds, do you? Absolutely not. As long as you pull your own weight after your wounds heal, you'll be alright.
I'd be more than happy to repay however I can.
It's not about repaying. This is just a formality. You're here. Make sure you taken care of, and get you back to tip-top shape. The least I can do, you know. You revealed an entire pack of wolves that we got to be wary of. Honey, the crops have been pulled for the season. Oh, perfect. Above schedule. If you mind putting them in the granary, we'll go ahead and work on that a little bit tonight. All right. You want any help out here? I'll be all right. No worries, darling. Okay. She walks off. It was a pleasure meeting you, Claudius.
You as well, ma'am.
Right. And you see her start walking out, and she's a lovely gal. She really is. Met her in
I,
some of my worst days, actually.
Very
Um,
beautiful wife, sir.
thank you, thank you. It means a lot.
Yes, sir.
She's gorgeous. Um, on his arm, you do see that he has this what looks like a metal piece going from like the shoulder to the forearm, and from there you notice that it is actually like um embedded in his arm with leather straps. Like it's not in his skin, but it is bound to like the armor he's wearing. And you do see that he has equipment laying around. Like over on the table, you notice a blade that looks as if it's has a steam injector on it. And the arm piece itself has a few valves that look as if he flexed in the right way, it would create this dome around him.
Mm.
You also see that he has a pistol and a rifle.
It's
So,
a lot of beautiful metal work she got over there, sir.
uh, it's just what's required for the job, you know. A lot of it is it's dangerous out there. I'm a bounty hunter, you see. I go around taking care of all the trash that want to harm others. You know, they want to harm others and hurt them and just treat them like absolute garbage. I can't handle that. You know, something in me. If I ever
Oh,
like imagined it happened to my wife or my kids, I'd lose my mind.
I know all too well about the evil that exists in this world and the people that are bound by it.
It, I just it's a good thing, you know, to
Does
take
Claudius
care of
know what a
others.
bounty hunter is?
No.
Okay.
Well, let's be fair. Go and roll history.
So I know there's very few things he would have learned, but not much, because he didn't. Like, he was obviously the, like, speaker for the tribe in case anyone traveled in for trading purposes and
Yeah.
stuff, but
The chieftain mentioned them as killers, like in murderers. But he also said some are more
righteous.
acceptable, yes, and righteous than others. I, all this time, though, every time I go hunting, I'm worried about my wife and kids, you know, afterward. Like, if let's say I go out and I end up having to do a job and I get wounded. It's one of those things where I want to come home to my family. But,
But
eh,
imagine it must be nice to have your family around and come home to.
well, there's been a lot that happened, actually. We had a very large family for a while, but had another daughter. But
I'm sorry.
he just kind of shakes his hand. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and have the stew. It's pretty good. He stands up and then starts preparing like to have it boil over the water a little longer. And he throws the bowl in what looks like a thing of water down there. Listen, Claudius, right?
Yes, sir.
I think that we may be able to come to an agreement. Once I'll teach you for the next week or so something very important. Something important about this mainland that now that you're here. And that way, in case of some of the people show up again, that you'd be ready. You see him open up the um, chest, and you notice that he slowly unwraps something. Like it's very long, and he unwraps it, and you see on it that it says Carlson on the like side, and a metal ring with an owl on the side. But you notice at a closer look, you can tell that the owl is a raven.
Hmm.
As he starts walking over to you, and he pulls up a stool again and sits down. Claudius, I think it would be right to show you how to shoot with how I learned to shoot with my father's gun.
I wouldn't want to impose, sir. I don't.
Oh,
To be honest with you,
don't worry. This is gonna be fine. As long as you don't go running off with it, it'll be all right. He
I would.
slowly hands it over to you.
I'd never steal, sir.
It's a good man, good man.
My mother wouldn't allow it.
My mother would be rolling in her grave if I did anything like that. So I understand. You see him hand the rifle over, and it has this really nice gold and brass receiver. The barrel looks to be lined with what looks to be coils, and it's a very good Winchester. And again, on the side, it has Carlson wrote on it with the raven sticking through it, and it looks like a very good logo.
Let's see.
It's in your sheet already.
The Raven.
Well, my family, it's gonna really be really weird. In all honesty, kind of comical. But when we were apparently when my father and grandfather were trying to find this land, they only reason they found it is because they saw a lone raven feasting on what looked to be just a carcass of some small animal. And by God, when they went up to it, he didn't even fly off. He just stood there and waited. And when they came up, it stayed there. What they said is it stayed almost 12 moons just waiting for them to get their supplies in. When they brought the carts over, apparently they had like men upon men to work that within the first week. And the raven was always there. And they don't know why. They throughout the entire like building process, once we built the windmill, it took about a week and a half to make. And the raven one day was there, and he decided that a logo in that kind of like for Carlson Farms would be nice. A raven in over the moon. Because that was the last night he saw them, watching over watching over them with the full moon behind it.
Have
And
you
then
ever heard
within the next day it was gone.
Claudius like continues running his hands like over the gun?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's hot. It's very humid in here. You can turn it up. But yeah, I
So
turned it on because it was getting really humid.
so yeah,
Um,
he watches you
Claudius
do that.
runs his hands up in the gun, like traces the raven. He's like, "Do you know the meaning of the raven in the tribes?"
Well, it depends on the tribe, apparently, from what I've heard. I've tried to look into it a little bit. A lot of the time, it's either a voyager for the spirits, you know. That's why he was so adamant about having the logo, is that he believed it was a guide telling him to move forward with his land.
In my tribe, the raven is seen as the creator of light, but also a trickster with two sides. But as the maker of the light, the raven symbolizes as the creator, one that almost existed before all things. What? No, no, no. I'm talking about the meaning of a raven
Okay,
in the tribe.
okay,
Yeah, no, I actually looked that up.
okay, good.
Yeah, I want to tell him that connects to his story why the raven followed.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Instead, because the raven is seen as that.
Go ahead, go ahead.
But the raven's there as almost a creator. He was there before all things. In most stories, the raven does disappear once the things have been created for. But from there, it's up to the life that exists to make decisions whether it preserves the area or the creations that exist.
Maybe he was an omen. People always say that those things come to those who wait. Maybe they've had enough time waiting. Maybe that was the last day that they needed to. I like that.
Uh,
I like that story.
yes, sir. That was my people, so I was actually raised in a
You,
Indian tribe.
you hear the
I was
door getting knocked on as you're talking. Oh, hold on, hold on.
yes, sir.
You see what looks to be a red-haired woman, probably about the same age as you, come up. Daddy, we're done. What do you want us to do? Go ahead and prepare supper for everybody. I'll bring the stew pot in about an hour. That way everybody's ready. Okay. She just looks in, sees you, and then walks off. Sorry.
Claudius just sits almost speechless and keeps staring at the door.
Oh, that's my daughter, Lucy. She, how old are you?
21, sir.
She's about 19. But
Family's mighty beautiful, sir.
thank you. Don't go getting any ideas now.
No, sir, I wouldn't dare.
Um, well, go ahead and put the stew in there. You're gonna have to eat a little bit more when we get over there, but ain't too big a deal. Definitely know you need it. You see him pull the steam blade and he just sets it into a holster. He grabs his pistol, puts it on his side, and then he walks back over to his rifle and he lifts it up and puts it over his arm. So go ahead and wrap that up. Make sure you carry it well. There should be a strap on it. Let's head on to
Claudius is going to like strap it around his back when he stands up.
the.
Does he have his quiver and everything on?
It's actually right next to your bed.
I'm gonna go ahead and start grabbing my quiver and see if he says anything when I start to grab all of that.
He sees you doing it. He hears it as you see him carrying the stoop out. All right, we're going to the house directly below the grain field. Here, I'll show you the way.
All right.
So, walking out here, you see a very, very nice farm. Fields and fields of grain and different types of vegetables. A lot of the vegetables have been picked for the season, so there's nothing too crazy. There is a series of plants on the right that look like they're not in bloom yet. You
Same
see,
direction I'm looking at to you.
yeah, you see from where the granary is over on the left, you see that it has a large windmill connect, and the sound of it constantly flowing. Well, so Claudius, this is my estate. As you're doing that, you also see on the windmill the logo of Carlson Farms. We've lived here for probably about 30 years, really. In hindsight, that well, actually, it'd be a little bit longer than that. About 50 years now. Family's been very active here, probably for longer than I've been alive for sure. The 50 years they've done a lot though. They ended up setting up trade routes to Junction City and down to the Steam Barrens, all those places. They've really got us set up. And over there, up that way, if you look to the right here, up that path, that's the granary and the windmill. If we ever need any of the fruits and stuff squashed down, there's a series of buckets in there that we do that for. We make jams with it. The granary, we break it down and then we make feed for our livestock. We also make it into wheat. That way wheat meal and everything like that. That way we can bake. Over here is the bags of processed grain. There's barley. There's wheat. Then there's some other crap in there that we don't really use. But all that is what we send off for trade. A little bit further down here, over here is this is the main house, the one here on the left. This is where all the family comes to eat. Um, my sons and daughters actually live in that one. Me and Meredith live on the other side. Due to it being so close, we are able to actually hear if anything happens. Um, we have a few guards out here every night. That way, people don't get attacked and there's no wolves. Over there, would be mine and Meredith's house, and down there is the guard house. So you hear the talking of what sounds to be like kind of like younger kids, and they're all just saying, "No, he said I could have it. No, I want the chair." Well, it seems like they're getting started without us. Well, let's head in. So you see them when he kicks them dead. Dad! Hey! Theodore won't let me have the seat. It's like, I told him that I could have it because you said it. Well, listen, everybody, calm down. You got gas. Oh, um, they stand up. Hello? Hi?
Claudius takes his hat off.
Uh,
Hello.
you see the daughter actually do a bow to you. Alright,
Ma'am.
everybody. She just She looks kind of unamused at the term ma'am because she still believes that she's too young. But she nods back. All right, Theodore, you can do your introduction. I'm Theodore Carlson. I work on the Carlson farmstead. It's getting better. It's getting better. Logan. I'm Logan Carlson. I farmstead. See, you're getting there, boys. You're getting there. It's all right. All right.
It's nice to meet you both.
Yeah. So Logan and then Theodore.
Let's see.
Here, I got it. I'll post these for you. Where's your thing? I'm just gonna post all of them for you.
I noted it. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. My name's Claudius Moore. I'm also known as the Guiding Moon.
You see Lucy actually walk up. Lucy Rachel Carlson. You may call me Rachel.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
She smiles and is like, well, everyone get your seats. You see all of them actually waiting for you. Well, you go and take your seat first. You are the guest.
Wherever you prefer, sir. I don't want to impose.
That's how it works around here. Go and choose a seat.
Sit on the end if that's all right.
Absolutely. All right, go ahead and sit down, kids. I want. Theodore gets it tonight. He did ask. Oh, Lucy, Meredith, and you see him sit down. So, traditionally, the person on the end would have to give grace. However, I'll show you how it's done because I'm assuming you don't quite know our ways quite yet.
No, sir, to be honest. I'm familiar with what my tribe has taught me. I know that things like this vary with common folk.
Well, don't worry. This is how we do it around here. We thank the God for what we have here. And it goes like this. First you put your head down. Everybody puts their head down, they like cross their hands. Cross your
Claudius has his
hands.
hat hanging on his back, like almost like a string under his neck,
Okay.
because he doesn't wear his hat. He was always told never to wear his hat indoors.
Oh yeah, never. You see him cross his hands. Go ahead and put your hands like this.
All
And,
right.
and close your eyes. And at the very end, when you hear everybody say amen, you do the same. Alright. Oh gracious God, we give you thanks for your overflowing generosity to us. Thank you for the blessings of the food we eat, and especially for this feast today. Thank you for our home and family and friends, especially for the presence of those gathered here. Thank you for your health, for our health, our work, and our play. Please send those who are hungry, lone, sick, and suffering, war, and violence. Send them help. We open our hearts to your love. We ask your blessing through Christ your Son. Amen. Amen. They all just
Amen.
going.
Amen.
See, you got it. You see him, um, Theodore, if you don't mind, go ahead and hand the potatoes down. One by one, please. As you see him put some on his plate, hands it to Logan. He does the same. Lucy does the same. Meredith does the same. Then he does, then he slowly hands it to you.
Claudius follows suit.
Alright. At this time, Claudius, will you mind pouring yourself some of that stew and then hand it down?
Yes, sir. He does as told.
Alright. Then he does the same. He pours like a nice hearty helping, hands it down to Meredith, and they go all the way down until Theodore once again puts it down. The grains, please. As he takes what looks like long strings of asparagus and some like green beans, and he sets it down, and he heads down to Logan. Logan seems like he's a little shaky as he's doing. He's like, careful now, it's no rush. About this time, hands it to Lucy, then Meredith, then him, then you.
Give me 1 second.
Bum, bum.
Sorry.
Alright.
My work phone started going off. I didn't know why.
Yep. He looks over to you. You mind handing me the corn?
Yes, sir.
You see, you go ahead and put one on your plate. Very nice, hearty thing of corn, just big cob. He does the same, hands it down, all the way down. And finally, do you mind handing me the bread? You see them all bring it down and then hands it to you.
Claudius takes the bread.
Alright, everybody, dig in. So they all just start getting to eating. It's not bad. You all did wonderful today, honestly. And you guys are going to be seeing Claudius a lot more. He's going to stick around a little bit and do a little work around here. That way, ease your hands. They're just like, yay! Getting all happy. Lucy nods. Meredith just is eating still. And don't be worried if your father ever goes out, and has to do a little job. Pretty sure Claudius will come along, won't you?
Be more than happy to help whoever I can, sir.
See, no more need to worry, Meredith. You can tell that she's eating and she's trying not to have too big of like a smile. She's just a little tiny smirk,
Mhm.
knowing that he cares enough to ask for Claudius's help. But everybody, feel free, enjoy yourselves. He finishes rather quickly, and as they're all talking and having like a good laugh, he presses his hand to your shoulder. All right, let's head on out. Meredith,
Yes, sir.
I thank you for what you're about to do. And everyone, don't worry. I just gotta teach him a few things around here. It's like, alright. that's my family. I know that they're very active and rambunctious sometimes, but we survive. But
Thank you for the meal, sir.
oh, don't worry about it. You're gonna have a good meal every night, as long as you're here.
I'd be happy to hunt and provide however I can and help.
Oh, don't worry too much about that. We only hunt about once every 2 weeks.
I'm
But
used to hunting every day, sir.
well, over here we kind of preserve what we eat. We always have a nice stew every Sunday. That's what today is, if you did not know.
Does Claudius recognize days as like weekday names?
I don't think you would. I only think you know it as moons.
Okay. What moon phase is it in currently?
You see him look at you and just, well, well, here, a lot of people don't really enjoy the natives as much as we accept them. So, if you don't mind, we're going to have to, you're gonna have to get accustomed with how we see the week. A week is 7 days, 7 moons, if I remember correctly. And today's Sunday, then it'll go Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then Saturday, then it repeats. And that's the way that we all say what day it is. It helps us kind of circulate our growth patterns on here because there's 365 days in a year, which is a full winter cycle. I'm not trying to be rude about it or anything. I don't mean it that way. It's just I know a lot of people who are against
I'd be happy to
natives.
learn, sir.
All right, this is great. Sorry, I just didn't want to really press it too much, you know.
Oh, you're fine, sir. I've more than assumed I'd have to change or hide some things, practices.
Well, I don't want you to hide anything. It's just we know that we need to be a little bit careful, especially with everything that's going on.
To be
Uh,
honest with you, sir, you're the first person I've ran into in quite a while.
well, I view that as a pleasure then. I, hopefully, I'm not the worst you've met. You see him
No,
raise the crate, and
nowhere close.
he pulls out what looks like a box of rounds. All right, we're gonna have to teach you a few things. Pull up that stool.
Yes, sir.
So here, this is how you're going to load your rifle. He pulls down his, and he shows you on yours, because yours is a little bit different than his. Um, Yours is a little bit easier because you can just send it out. So, right here, you're going to press it down into there, and you can get about. I forgot how many actually is in there. Let me look. Let's do reload 8. You can fit about 8 rounds in yours before you're gonna need to use it. Go ahead and put one in there real quick. So, if you're following along with them, you start pushing it in a little bit crooked, and it snaps your finger, but you do get it in there. You gotta be careful with that. The enclosure will actually open back up. Um, well, it's much more like a lever action rifle than a Winchester, to be fair. Well, so you see how it's in the chamber. If you're wanting to, no, let's fuck it. You just slid it in, but it actually pinched it when you pressed it down. If you want the bullet out, all you gotta do, without firing, do not pull that trigger. Um, you also, when you're holding the gun, you want to have very calm posture. You see where your finger is? Do not put that there. Don't hold it over that trigger. You're gonna want to hold it like right above it, like outward. It's called trigger discipline. It's something that you always need to know. Only move your finger to that trigger if you have the intent to fire it. Now, the way to get the bullet out without actually setting it off, you see that handle underneath where you're holding it right now?
Yes.
Pull it down. You'll hear a click.
I don't want anything to happen, sir.
Don't pull the trigger, just pull the lever.
Claudius does as told.
You hear the sound of the bullet coming out. Ting! You see him immediately catch it as it comes up. See, that's how you get them out without setting them off. He sets it back on the table. I'm going to go ahead and have you load 4 rounds in there, then meet me outside.
Claudius loads 4 rounds very slowly and carefully.
All right. It's a little bit shaky, and you learned from your first mistake of, like, getting your fingers pinched.
And I'm going to walk outside.
You see that he's slowly setting up what looks to be, like, little bottles. And they're all aimed out that way, so they're not anywhere near. Yeah, it should be all right. All right. So we're gonna do some exercises here. Come on over here. You see him pull out his rifle, and he immediately starts, like, moves you out of the way so you don't get shot. And he aims it, and you see him just pull in quick succession and shoots 2 of them.
Claudius is almost startled by the sound.
Didn't mean to scare you. What we're doing is trying to get you to understand how to read the sights. It's not going to be easy. You're definitely not going to learn it for probably about the entire week. Hell, even longer. But I want you to align yourself so you understand where that sight on the top is. It has a little bit of drag. You got to remember to aim dead center. That way it hits it. So go ahead and give it a shot.
All right.
You're aiming for those bottles over there.
Do you want me to roll disadvantage on the gun?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you see it goes off. It does have a kick, like you notice as your arm kind of bolts back. In your eyes, it's about the opposite of what a bow would feel like if you let go of the string. Instead of it going outward, it goes inward. And you felt that, and it like makes you jolt a little bit. And you miss. You clearly miss. All right. So I'm gonna level with you. This is what we're gonna do. Go ahead and aim down that scope.
All right.
All right. You see your target?
Yes.
I want you to take a very long breath out and then pull the trigger. The moment your air is out of your lungs. Make sure you got your arms very sturdy. Go ahead and try it that way. You can roll with normal.
Okay.
This time you hit it dead center as it shatters the bottle. That's what I'm talking about. You're natural.
Thank you.
Go ahead and give another shot on the other one.
Oh, all right.
Once again, dead center as it shatters. Let's see. You're learning it. Go ahead and clear the cartridge.
Claudius is confused.
What you do is you pull the lever down again. That clears out whatever remaining rounds you have in there.
All right.
And be prepared to catch it.
He pulls it and tries to catch what's coming out.
Yep, we'll slide ahead. You grab it. See, that's all you really need to do. We're going to do a lot of more of that. That way you can get a little bit more comfortable with it. But I'm going to say, you're not going to be great at what you do for a while. I say you keep using your bow. It is natural to you. But we can make sure in dire scenarios, if we ever need to, of hunting wolves or any kind of thing like that, that you are prepared. That's what we're gonna use when that comes around.
All right.
All right. Now, I'm gonna go back into my place. You feel free to explore all you want. Your room is the room that's right here. He hands you a key that unlocks the door. There should be about 11 remaining rounds in there. Go ahead and get them. Get your things all together. Tomorrow, I'm gonna take you into town.
Yes, sir.
It's good to have you around.
Thank you. You. What time of day is it?
It's about 8 p.m. It's getting dark, but it's not too dark.
Okay.
Especially
Um,
with it being like nearing fall. You notice that it's like almost the middle of fall, so there's pumpkins growing and stuff.
Claudius is gonna go inside the house,
Yep.
begin to unpack everything, and he's gonna end up taking his hat off, his shirt. He's going to wrap the gun back in the cloth and sit it back on the table.
Table's over here.
Oh,
That's where you threw your bowls.
okay. Put that back on the table. He's gonna set his quiver and everything there as well. He's gonna go ahead and get the remaining rounds out of the chest.
They're on the table still.
Okay, he'll leave them all there and unpack all of his things. Um, he's going to sleep for about. Actually, is there a way to clean up in there?
Like clean up what all mess you guys made while you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use the water that's with the bowls and all that.
Okay. So I'm gonna
He's
go ahead and clean up everything, make everything look tidy and presentable, almost like the way he would want it to be.
okay.
Um, After that's all completed, he'll kind of wash his face off a little bit,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna sleep for about 5 hours until 1 a.m.
All right.
So does he gain back anything during that short rest?
You can roll your hit dice.
Okay. I'll roll all 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see. So it'll be a 39. Okay. When he wakes up, he's gonna go outside and actually climb and sit on this ledge here.
Ledge of the rocks.
Yep.
All right. So you take you a minute as you see just one of the random guys come up. Are you the Claudius guy?
Yes, sir.
Gave me a fright. Didn't know that you'd be out here.
I'm sorry, sir.
It's all right. It's just really early.
I
Well,
figured I'd come and sit outside and look at the moon in the sky for a little while.
are you doing all right?
Doing well. Slept a little and I feel a little better than I did. Mr. Carlson's mighty kind to welcome me in like this.
Well, more hands the better, I guess.
Be more than happy to help however I can.
That's good. You're a good man. As he
Thank
walks off.
Walk over. Can he climb these?
It's a little bit rough, but you probably could.
Okay. He's just gonna sit down against the edge of the rocks and just calmly like exhale and look up at the moon.
The moon almost is completely open from the clouds. You can see it. You see your moonsteel dagger from the inside of the window. I
He's
see.
gonna like say a prayer in like his native tongue and just close his eyes to basically faint out into almost like a trance.
How long are you gonna be doing that?
Um, it's 1 a.m. What time did Carlson say a specific time?
No, he didn't.
Um, did he say when the sun rose?
He didn't say that at all. He just said tomorrow.
Until the time until it would be Claudius knows. Claudius knows based on the nature what time the moon is pretty much going to leave the sky.
Yeah.
As full as like its strength, what he deems as like the strength of the moon.
No.
So he's going to stay there until the strength of the moon begins to diminish. So probably
About 5.
6, 5, 6 a.m. Yeah.
So as it's slowly coming up, you do notice that you actually see Carlson walking up there. He has a different set of clothing on. He still has that. Only his clothes does have the embroidering and the metal
Is
on his
that
arm.
considered resting for Claudius?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, you're already up. If you don't mind, let's pack up. We heading on.
Yes, sir. He's gonna climb down the rocks, and then we just say he went inside and grabbed everything he needed and comes
Um,
back out.
you see him actually sitting there rolling a cigarette, then licks a little bit, then puts it in his mouth. All right. He lights it with what looks to be a piece of flint and steel. He just lights it and he quick inhale so it actually lights it. You smoke?
From time to time with my tribe, yes.
You see him take a drag and hands it to you. Here you go.
Thank you.
Yep. Come on. It's not too far of a walk, so we're not going to get our horses or anything. So, about this time, you all do go around. It takes a little bit. You go back through the path that you went, and slowly you look as if the path turns into what looks to be a cemetery.
Hmm.
I will show you something. This is one of the cemeteries for a lot of the people that come on through. All of the town ends up really getting buried here. Due to our trade, we used to have a special plot of land, but it's been kind of diminished recently due to overgrowth. You see him stepping over the pumpkins and everything. Just, all right. I don't know what you all do for your honored dead, but this is what we do. Bury.
We do have a burial ceremony.
Overgrowth's really taking hold. Um, you see him walking and takes a few more steps before he walks over to what looks to be a lone grave. Yeah, what we do is we bring our bodies here and we lay them in a very padded coffin, sometimes just made of wood, depending on how much money you spend on it. A lot of people want to live in luxury even in their death, but me, I, I ain't for all that. When I go, there's gonna be fireworks in that sky. They're gonna light off TNT for me and blast a new hole in the earth. But nah, all things considered, wooden coffins. It's we're all gonna be in the same place. We're all in the ground. But this is my father's grave. His name was Henry, and he raised that place up. It's time when I didn't see really clearly on where I was gonna be going, but he helped me. Pretty sure you have family too that probably did the same for you.
Very much so. A pig.
You see him, he rolls another cigarette and he slowly puts it on top of his grave. You notice that there's actually old ones that are all beaten up around there on top. Definitely rained on multiple times. But he sets it right back in the slot where it was. But majority of the time that I have been on this earth, I've been proud to know that I inherited a farm that is fairly successful. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bad things that have happened, but I have a family, I work, I, my life is made. I'm gonna let you see some of that in the weeks you're here. That way you're not not doing anything without your hands, you know. You need to be moving. You got to get the blood pumping. Else you're gonna stagnate.
Thank you.
You see him,
You can tell Claudius is not like very talkative. He doesn't really know how to respond in a lot of things.
oh, I know. You see
He just
him
knows like
doing the
common
talking.
chivalry.
Yeah. You see him put his hand on the grave. Miss you, Dad. Truly.
Claudius is just gonna bow his head.
Done do great. Me and Meredith. I hope you see that. No matter where you are, you're gonna see that we're gonna do great things. I want to introduce you to somebody. It's Claudius.
I'm
Saved
gonna
him.
lift up my head, actually take a step forward.
Saved him from wolves the other day. He ended up helping me find out that they were converging on the northern waters. Was able to clean them out before we lost another. You see him kind of get really dreadful in his face as he closes his eyes for a moment, tries not to tear up. But
His father or his grandfather was one that found the land?
his grandfather with his father there, like he was young at the time.
Okay.
He nods for a minute. We'll see you soon.
John,
He turns. Yeah.
would it be alright to tell your father the story of the raven for my people?
Yeah. You can.
I thought you mentioned him being there. I thought maybe it'd be something he'd like to know about because you said they were curious of the raven.
That'd be great. Go ahead.
Mr. Henry?
So as you're doing that, you see him pulling the vines off of this grave, and you do notice that it has a Carlson in the name, and it says Janet. And he just gets to his knees and seems to be praying.
Claudius is going to continue to tell Henry the story of the raven, but he's going to go into a little bit like more detail, probably more than he would with John, besides just the meaning, and maybe give it like a connected story of more examples related to the tribe.
Yep.
Probably the most John has heard Claudius speak since he's met him.
Yeah. So as you do that, like I said, he is doing a prayer, and then at the end of it, he stands up and kisses the top of the grave as he's listening to your story. By the end of it, he finally grabs your shoulder. You would love that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, let's head on into town and get ourselves a job.
All right.
Don't worry. I'll pay you entry to being a bounty hunter.
To be a bounty hunter.
Well, if you're going to be doing work, you can't do it unlicensed.
Oh, okay. Claudius is just very naive, so he's just he knows what his chieftain said, but he doesn't know, and he just has a strong sense of trust with John.
So, about this time, you all slowly head to that, and that's where we'll end this session.
Damn
One moment. With the newfound heart and soul of this, we have Claudius and Jonathan going into the town. Don't quite know the name yet, but Claudius is on for the ride, and he will slowly join the ranks of what he wants to be, hand in hand with his new friend. Find out what happens next time on Chronicles of Pantheon, Guiding Moon.